We want to talk about changes in card prices. So I
Oh yeah.
I received some messages from people who were hyped about CSG, SGC, PSA coming out with kind of bulk pricing, right? But then I'll ask the question, and somebody told me, FD, don't be a downer, man, when I was talking about this. Only certain cards qualify.
I'm not aware.
Well, I know with PSA, that's a threshold.
Oh,
So
so
like
for
cards that out.
clarification, there's a declared value limit for
Yeah.
all the companies except for SGC.
Hmm. So certain cards don't qualify.
Correct.
And then someone told me, man, don't be a downer, man. I'm just like,
Okay.
as soon as I heard this, it was like my mind went to certain cards don't qualify.
That's definitely an interesting way to look at it. Like, yeah, you just can't, you can't do everything. Yeah.
Mm-mm, doesn't work. But what do you think about why do you think maybe one pawn moved, the other ones wanted to move to make sure one didn't have that entire market? But why do you think this happened? Why do you think there was a bulk pricing that came out? It was
Well,
tested and it came out.
I know. Well, for the start of October, CSG announced first 20% off all grading levels. So that's something that the others are not doing.
Hmm.
So basically, their discount qualifies for everything, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Then within a week later, PSA said, "Yep, we're doing $18 bulk submission." And the interesting thing they said is 15 for TCG, which is non-sports division.
Yeah.
Which I'll tap into later on. I think the reason why these discounts happened was that's a good thing to remember. Then SGC said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I gotta join the party. Let me throw some discounts. We will also be as cheap as $18. We have to do 50 cards." And then Beckett, as they've been operating recently, last ones to announce, we'll do a discount too. The reason why I think a lot of people, I think CSG helped do that because they led with that, and specifically, I think the prices are like there's more competition, specifically in the non-sports card. Like there's a Charizard. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, no big deal. So this card right here, I might be off by a couple dollars based on today's market.
Hmm.
This is a reprint of the original first Charizard.
Okay.
As a CGC9, which is also CSG, it's a $120 card. PSA 9, it's a $120 card. So before the price
Mm.
decrease, why would you send to PSA for $30?
Understood.
You can send to CSG for 15.
Yep.
So now PSA, because I think, because I do a lot of the non-sports stuff,
Hmm.
for bigger cards, yes, PSA is more dominant. But I'd say 300 below, CSG is getting very, very competitive. So they lowered that to $15, so $3 cheaper, and they lowered the minimum card threshold from 25 to 10.
Mm.
Um,
That's a game, no, none that's significant. That's
and it sells more than the BGS9 and in the non-sports cards world, Pokemon like SGC is not even a competitor. So it's really between PSA and CGC. Their background, which I've been submitting with them for plenty of years, is in comics,
okay.
and they started doing this as well. So I think that played a factor. I think prices or comps, market value, the recession uh, made them want to decrease their prices because they're not getting as many cards. So they want to turn numbers. Maybe they caught up some that played a factor. They caught up, so now they can pump stuff. But we have to remember just how you started the call. It's like people are selling at 70%. They were selling PSA, you could submit cards in single digits. So everyone's getting all excited, but it's still $18 when you could submit for $8 just 2 years ago.
Interesting, right?
So it's like you're still more than double.
Hero 3 says, I'm going to take my Aaron Judge PSA 10 Topps Chrome Prism Refractor. to a card show on Saturday. I think it will sell for $750. You have to let us know how that goes, Hero 3.
Yeah.
What's the turnaround time for CSG versus PSA on the lower card sheet?
So I believe CGC. I just got this order that I was kind of showing off. Let me even show you the date. They received this on 10/3.
Oh, wow.
Cards, and I got it 7 days door to door. PSA, I believe, is saying 120 days, and CGC, I believe, is 2 weeks.
Okay, I see something here where PSA is 120, SGC is 15 to 20, Beckett is 180, and CSG is 60 days. And those are all probably on the long end.
Now, I think SGC is a little bit faster.
Okay.
I guess I deleted that.
Yeah, I have 15 to 20 days, SGC.
Yeah. But, yeah, so like 2 weeks versus 2-3 months.
And those
they're saying that it's getting back fast. Everyone's getting back faster. I mean, as you saw, like literally got that back in 7 days. Yeah, I don't see PSA doing that in bulk. I think if you're lucky, you'll get it back in 100 days. We'll see. I'm gonna submit to PSA some cards too for sure.
That was your collection.
I use all of them, just not SGC as much.
Brendan says turnaround time as far as grading. Is it really as important as consistency in grading? I wait for tougher grading. But I will tell you this, I know a lot of people, turnaround time is very important.
Yeah, if you're trying to turn money as a dealer, it's really important. You want true grades, but I mean that's a whole other topic. Is I've done it. You send a card, you get a PSA 7, you crack it, send it back, you get 10.
You've done that?
Yeah.
You didn't clean it, didn't do anything?
No, I wiped it down, but didn't see any big things. I just do it out of habit. And several other people I know too, same exact thing. Crack it, sell it back, get a better grade.
Have you had an instance where you had a card at a certain grade, you cracked it, sent it to someone or the same grading company, and it came back a lower grade?
Yeah. CGC definitely grades really tough.
You think CGC is a tougher grader than PSA?
Yeah, consistently, like as the other person said as a word, consistently. I think when PSA did their first grade price reduction in grading fees, grades are just super sporadic. A lot of people, including myself, I was like, how did this card get a 5? Like I've literally submitted thousands of cards. I don't understand how this card got a 5. Instead, I got a 6 or 7. Let me crack it and resub. I'm like, okay, yeah, there was no room, whatever the phrase is, rhyme or reason.
So yeah, because you have a king and 9. If you've submitted those many cards, you know why you're submitting, kind of what you expect the grade to kind of be. You look in the edges, corners. Interesting. That's interesting. I've never thought about that. Someone getting a 7, sending it back in, getting a 10.
Yeah, not saying it happened every day, but it's definitely happened.
I got you. So we got Ziggy in the house, Sports Card Show. What's up, Ziggy? Good to have you here.
Welcome. Cheers.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
But yeah, it's part of my project with this. I mean, I submit a lot all the time anyway. But is to experiment some crossovers, slabbed and cracked out of the slab.
So you crack
crossover being take some CSG cards, some Beckett cards, send them to PSA, take some PSA cards, send them to CSG, send them to Beckett.
You know what? I'm surprised someone or an entity or even an individual hasn't done that and logged the results to show kind of what's going on here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all just money. Like you think, like a big company, like I don't know, maybe PWCC or because they PWCC offers a service with Beckett and CSG where you send them your raw cards, they'll get it graded and sold for you.
That's customer
That
service.
could be one. You know, I think that Jeff Wilson has some. They partner with someone to do some grading and stuff. They've got plenty of money and analytics already built in place. Maybe do that.
They grade.
I'm gonna try it. I don't know. I just don't know, like, back to statistics, what the sample size needs to be.
True.
You gotta do like 1,000 from each. Like, yeah, I wasn't planning on doing anything like that.
True.
Just a sample study.
Yeah, Brenda said a nice double blind experiment would be interesting.